This is Rye on cattle. So most of this is about him listening to me. He has a real problem with overflanking. He does not want to overflank. He wants to get behind cattle or sheep and wear on the balance point. He doesn't take pressure well. He wants to push back on the handler, and if he can't push back on me, he will take it out on the stock. So just got him going around, trying to get him to keep going on the away flank. Let him balance off here and bring the cattle to me. Flank him around the other way, and what he does is he cuts in tight here. I give him a verbal correction and I start to push him out, and he thinks about pushing in on the cattle. So I cut this part of the video out, but I did push him out. I got after him pretty hard for that, because that's one of his main issues, is if he feels pressure from me, sometimes he will blow in on the stock. So he did not get a hold of the stock that time, which was great. This is a come by, and he's doing pretty nice here. And he actually does overflank, and I just keep him going along that fence a little bit. Just want him to stay nice and wide out off the cattle until I tell him to turn in. So I let him balance a little bit here. And he's so nice and wide. That was such a nice flank. See how his come by is a little bit tighter. He goes along down the fence. He balances off well. He's pushing me a little bit on his stops here. So I tell him to stop, and he takes a few more steps, so I tell him no and stop again. We're going to try the away this time. And I just walk the middle of the field so that if I need to put pressure on him, I'm in the right place to do that. So he's pushing me on the stops, which is why I stopped him early, so that I can get in front of him and make sure he got stopped. So now I'm going to push him out because he didn't take the stop. And continue him on the away flank. So I ask him to out here, and he gives a little bit, but not really enough. So I stop him. We're going to try again. On the away, I want him to go all the way along down that fence line, and that was good. He turned in, and I gave him a correction, and he took it, and he got out a little bit off of him. So here in just a second, I think he's going to blow in. I'm going to ask him to stop, and he's going to push me. So I give him a correction, and he tries to take it out on one of the cattle, and he gets kicked pretty hard, and he gets the paddle thrown at him. This dog seems to have no pain receptors. He does not worry about correction. There he goes, and he got kicked, and he got the paddle thrown at him. Didn't put him off too much. It did make him think a little bit. So here we go again. And this is towards the end of the session. He's really starting to work well for me here. The goal is not necessarily to have him run the fence, but I do want him to take direction and give to pressure. because that makes things a lot easier. He has got to give the pressure to work stock. So I call him all the way around. That was great. So he's going to continue on along the fence here, very nice and wide. He's got plenty of distance off the stock. He is such a nice dog. He just needs to learn how to work as a team. So there, because he was so good, try to let him turn in. I'm going to send him the other way. Or maybe not. Send him on the away again. Trying to get him to a point where I can let him balance off and work a little bit. So he's got to cover this one calf that's running towards the draw. And he just covers so nice. But then he turns in, so I redirect him out and he takes it. And I mean, he's pushing me, but he's taking these corrections and he's actually giving to a little bit of pressure there. Lots of improvement. Not blowing in on the stock. There, he can walk him up. And he's covering. As soon as he sees me, he's going to cover. And he took that come by, and it was a really nice flank. He just turns in a little too early. Come by is his hard direction. I would have liked him to be a lot further off the stock just because, but since he was giving him my pressure so well and he was taking those nice square flanks, sometimes you have to give a little. So I really want him to overflank on these come by flanks, especially before I send him back around to catch the stock. And he did, so I sent him away, told him there. He's going to get the cattle to me. Now he just keeps walking in, so he is pushing too much. That's okay, we were in a good place to stop here. And he's still walking a little bit on those stops when he can't see me. That's okay, he's doing a lot better.